In the early 1980s, Billy Squier was unstoppable. Hits like The Stroke, Everybody Wants You, and In the Dark dominated airwaves, and arenas were packed with adoring fans. His guitar riffs, charismatic stage presence, and songwriting skill made him a defining voice of the era. Billy wasn't just popular. He was shaping the sound of rock radio. Success came quickly, and the world celebrated him. But beneath the surface, the pressures of fame were quietly building. Even at the peak of his career, he couldn't have imagined that one misstep would eventually overshadow all he had achieved. The video that changed everything. In 1984, the release of the music video Rock Me Tonight dramatically shifted Billy's trajectory. The pastel colors, awkward dance moves, and over-the-top production clashed with his rock image. Fans were confused, critics were ruthless, and radio stations backed away. Overnight, a top-selling rock icon became a subject of ridicule. What might seem trivial today carried enormous consequences in a pre-internet, MTV-driven music industry. For Billy, the humiliation was immediate and devastating. The video didn't just change public perception, it shook his confidence and cast a long shadow over his future. One misjudged creative choice had suddenly redefined his career. The emotional fallout. The repercussions of the video ran deeper than public embarrassment. Billy became withdrawn, avoiding interviews and losing trust in the very industry that had once embraced him. He felt betrayed not only by management and his label, but also by his own decisions. The encouragement that led to the video's creation evaporated when the backlash hit. Over time, the emotional burden grew heavier, quietly eroding his spirit. The man who once commanded stages with energy and confidence now struggled with self-doubt and disappointment. Fame had offered applause, but it also left scars that few could see or understand. Struggling in a shifting industry. By the 1990s, musical tastes had changed, and Billy found himself sidelined. Efforts to stage a comeback were overshadowed by the lingering stigma of the video, and smaller tours and underpromoted albums could not restore his momentum. Other artists from his era enjoyed revival tours or nostalgia-driven success, but Billy remained painfully aware of how fragile his legacy had become. Eventually, he stepped away from recording entirely. The music industry moved on, leaving him behind. Despite his talent, the very world he helped shape had little room for him. Billy's career became a cautionary tale of how quickly fortune can turn. A quiet, reflective life. Today, at 79, Billy Squier lives far from the spotlight. He plays guitar, occasionally writes music, but shares little with the public. Friends describe him as enjoying a peaceful, private existence, though he carries the weight of what might have been. He reflects often on the highs and lows of his career, understanding both the magic and fragility of fame. While fellow musicians still respect his contributions and consider him underrated, Billy feels the sting of being largely forgotten. For fans who remember his commanding presence on stage, the contrast with his current solitude is poignant and deeply affecting. Legacy of talent and heartbreak. Billy Squier had the voice, charisma, and skill to be a lifelong rock giant. Yet his story is one of triumph and tragedy, a reminder of fame's precariousness. A single misstep altered the course of a career that once seemed destined for immortality. Though he remains respected by many in the music world, his legacy is tinged with sorrow. Approaching 80, Billy's quiet life serves as a reflection on resilience, loss, and the fleeting nature of public acclaim. For those who remember his music, his story is as moving as it is cautionary, a mix of brilliance, heartbreak, and enduring artistry.